Hello, hello. I decided to experiment today, do something a little bit different. And yeah, I just wanted to do something, just try something out. And this is my little experiment. So, if I don't know you, my name is Kara. I am joining you from kind of snowy Columbus, Ohio. And I'm hoping through this experimentation that I get a good grasp of some different things. But what I thought I would do today is to go over a contest that I am a judge for and share a couple of e learning samples that people have submitted. And I thought it might be helpful to do some live judging on the spot, and as I'm doing this, please feel free interact with me on the chat. I know that I think that I'm live currently on YouTube. I tried to integrate it with my Twitch. I think that might have been epic fail, but we'll see. All an experimentation. So come grab a beverage, have a snack, and hang out with me over the next hour or so as we go through it. And anything that you want to bring, I know that a couple folks on LinkedIn had sent me messages of like, hey, I want to come over and maybe share this, or can I ask you about this on stream? Absolutely. We'll see how this goes, and if this goes well and maybe I can make some time for it. I'd like this to be an occurring thing, because one thing that I feel like 2025 is missing is more kind of live stream in the moment shows, at least in the learning and development space. But I would also like to do some gaming through this as well, hence the integration of my Twitch channel too. Oh, hey Cicero, how are you? This Twitch username is Caradactyl, and I was told that it didn't come through. I believe Pandas told me it wasn't coming through, so I'll have to figure that out. So thanks for the patience and flexibility hanging with me. So again, like I said, kind of as I was kicking it off very kind of awkwardly, what I'd like to do today is I was invited by iSpring to be a judge in their 2025 contest. And so I want to walk through that. I already have a couple of submissions that I'm supposed to be looking at. If you're currently signed up for it and thinking that you missed something, you have not. Actually, the deadline to submit is the 24th of February, but I already have a couple of submissions. And honestly, people after my own heart. I'm all about getting things done quick and early, so I'm excited to go through them. So let me go ahead and I'll share my screen here. If you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about here, lady, this is iSpring's contest website, and you did have to register by the 17th. And there's two categories for it. One is, hey, I'm just getting started in my learning and development journey, want to experiment. And the other is, I'm a pro, I'm experienced, I have more than a year of experience. But the really neat thing about this contest, and what really drew me in, is they actually gave you access to their software to participate in this challenge, which I think is really, really cool. So again, you might have missed the deadline to sign up because it was the 17th. But if you did sign up and you're like, gosh, time got away from me, you have until the 24th to submit. And just kind of going behind the scenes a little bit, the way that they're doing it with the various panel of judges is that it sounds like we each get kind of our own bucket of things to go through. I have a rubric. I will not share that publicly. I'll talk very generally, I think, about it as I'm going through, because I don't want to give any competitive edge to anyone that maybe are still going through the challenge there. But we'll kind of go through it together. And again, as folks are coming on and joining, we can pivot and go from there. So here are the prizes. As you can see, first, second, and third place, they get nice little bucket of gift cards. They get discounts. They get different little perks. But first place also gets to spend 1 hour with I think one of the judges. And if you scroll down here, you can see here are the judges. I don't know why they put me first. that doesn't alphabetically make sense, but whatever. I appreciate that they thought of me. So that's it. So again, not sponsored by iSpring, but thought that this might be fun because it's something I need to do anyway. I'm not going to have any identifying information for the folks that I have to review, but just talking through again, if I was someone that was looking at this from a job perspective, or if somebody was asking me for feedback on something, this is kind of my raw reaction to it. And I really like doing reactions like this because I feel like it's a little bit more authentic. But before I do that, I just want to set a couple of housekeeping parameters around it. When I do these, I often speak in a stream of conscience. So if something comes across that might seem a little brash or direct, I am not saying anything personally about the talents or uh, different things about an individual. It's not anything about the individual who made any of this stuff. It is just about me as a user going through it. I am speaking from a stream of conscious of if I received this e-learning and I was going through it in my organization, what would be some of the things that I would say about it. So that's one level of feedback. Second level of feedback I like to give as well in the stream of conscious is if this was an ID that was on my team that reported up to me and I was kind of directing their body of work, what would be feedback that I would give to them about how the learning experience ended up? So that's kind of where we're going with that. Hold on just one second. I have been sick twice this month. I'm really over it. I feel like I've had enough sickness to at least get me through. Hopefully, like Q2, I don't have any issues. I'm gonna knock on wood there. So I still have like a lingering little cough here or there. So I will try to mute when that comes up. So thanks again for your patience and flexibility. So, without further ado, I do have two courses that I'm going to be sharing. Again, these are two entries in the iSpring contest that I am judging. I'm going to be giving again verbal feedback. I'm not going to share the rubric or point values that I assign to this, but just doing it from a learning purpose. And again, there's no identifying information in either of these for the individuals who made them, to my knowledge. I will admit I have not gotten past the first slide on either of these. So you are getting a very authentic reaction from me. All right. Well, without further ado, let me go ahead and going to pull one of these up. I'm going to start with this one right here. I'm going to make sure the audio is also shared. Give me just one moment here. This is actually a new tool to me that I am streaming on. It's called Talk Studio. So I don't know if anybody's used it before, but so far I'm liking it. It's pretty easy, but I just want to make sure I'm getting all the things set up. Okay, I think we are good. So I'm actually going to refresh this and hopefully the audio will come through. So bear with me just one moment. Okay. And actually, I don't hear any audio there. So that would actually be one of my first pieces of feedback on this one. Oh, fun other thing. I will tell you that one of these was made by someone in the new category, and one of them was made by the seasoned professional. I won't tell you which is which. It's kind of fun, but if you want to guess, you're more than welcome to do so, and I may or may not tell you, kind of depending. But so out of the gate, one of the first things that I notice is I have this here, and if you notice, it kind of loaded that in like audio was going to come in. Now, this is built in iSpring. So with this, I do know like when you navigate and go, this is kind of a status bar. But as you're looking, it does kind of look like it's something like a timeline in a storyline or Captivate, right? So that was kind of my first reaction to it of like, well, maybe it needs audio, maybe it doesn't need audio. That's kind of a personal choice. But this is a huge personal, again, emphasis on personal peeve of mine in the design of e-learning. We have two buttons here. We have a start button and then we have a next button. I find that super confusing. I find that not to be a good experience for the user. Now I'm going to try to click this. Okay, it does take me to the next slide, but let me go back and then I'm going to select this and see it does the exact same thing. So that redundancy there is something that I really encourage folks that I work with, and even when I'm designing, to scrub from it. We want this to be as easy and simple and clean as possible, right? So I would recommend either go with the start button or the next button, but whatever you do, try to be consistent throughout the experience. If you do custom buttons all the way throughout. If you use player buttons all the way throughout. So it's just like I said, just a little bit confusing. The use of imagery here, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine. I am a little concerned with the shading of this text. I can read it okay, but just to make it a little bit better, I'd almost even put like a highlighter, a black highlighter behind it, or make it a better color. Also, this light blue can also be a little bit tricky. Again, is it a deal breaker? No, but I don't know if it would pass an accessibility color audit, because I don't know the contrast level just looking at it. It's a little bit murky. But again, you can read it. It works for now. But just if I was giving feedback, I'd be like, "Hey, let's make sure that fits the contrast level." Okay. All right. So, I'll go ahead and use this. Okay. I'm not hearing any audio, so I don't think there's audio in this one. I do think there's audio in the other one. I don't know. I'm not going to read it to you, but I will say, at least from a welcoming standpoint, this is pretty traditional, and I see a lot of people build out welcome slides like this. I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing, especially as you're getting started. Maybe a subject matter expert is really keen on making sure that you're framing up the learning experience in a certain way. And I've seen many courses held hostage where somebody will not approve something for something like this from a standpoint of it needs to be my way or the highway. Excuse me, one moment. All right. Given that this is AI prompt engineering 101, I would have loved for this to open up almost like I am doing the prompt engineering, like really engage my interest here. I think there's a lot of different ways that could have been done. I think from one perspective, it could have opened up like a fake use your favorite LLM, Chat GPT, Google Notebook, whatever you like to use, whatever that looks like, open up like that. You could make a cute little you could make a gif, you could make an animated video, something to simulate that you're doing that. Another thing that you could do is it might even be really compelling, I think, from a what's in it for me perspective, to show what are some products that I can get out of this, or what are some things that this engineering prompt can help me with. Because here in this introduction, it says, well, you're going to get equipped with some ideas on how AI can effectively help you. Cool, show me. You got my attention. I'm in here. I click the next button. Like, put me in, coach. I want to know how this is going to help me. I think that this would have been a nice way to showcase some of that here. But from a content perspective, again, they're framing this up. They're letting me know exactly what it is. I think that that's again is a very common approach. But if I was going to encourage this person to turn up the volume or make it a little bit higher in the learner engagement perspective, those would be a couple things that I would add. Specifically, again, kind of that what's in it for me now. I don't know if anybody's read Julie Darkson's new book, but I loved it. And one thing that I've taken away from that book that I'm starting to kind of change my orientation to things is for a long time, I've always done the kind of what's in it for me. But from her book, she's like, let's pivot away from what's in it for me to what can I do with that. I think what can I do with that for this content? It could be really compelling. And again, they're framing it up, but I'm just saying if they were to change it, those would be some of my suggestions going forward. Again, the image don't necessarily have that big of a issue with it. I could take it or leave it. It's not really adding anything to it, but I will say so far, I do like seeing two women in stock images. That makes me happy. So just throw that out there. All right. Go ahead and we're going to skidoo on over to the next slide. All right. So here are our course objectives. Uh, when to use AI, the Risen framework, and your turn. Okay. So putting my formal instructional design hat on here, these are not written as true course objectives. I read these as things that the course is going to cover. One moment, please. All right. So they need a rewrite. They need a rewrite onto what is it that I'm going to be able to do. Even better if they were written from like a performance standpoint. We could use something like a Maker uh, perspective to write these out. There's a lot of different options, but what's it mean to learn? How do you quantify that? I am excited about the practice when we get there. That should be good. And the stock art, take it or leave it. I don't really think it's adding much to it, but I still have a little bit issue with this color of gray. From a readability standpoint, the contrast isn't the best. So again, if I was giving this person feedback on that, I would have them please check this contrast and accessibility checker. All right. So, looks like they're going to divide this into three different sections. I'm not crazy about the use of the word module. When I think of a module, I think of a unit of curriculum in a learning management system. But again, with our industry in learning development, there's so many words for so many things. So that could go either here or there. I do think that this is a lot to read from a chunking perspective. We have, a little bit about AI. Sooner we learn it, the better. It's no secret about the tension. See these questions here. I would almost like to see them from a formatting perspective be kind of bulleted out a little bit more. Again, just chunk this out a little bit for readability. But so far, again, logically speaking, the course is making sense so far in the sequence of what it is doing. Okay. So on the next slide, three scenarios which AI can help serve instructional designers. Uh, Click each option to see how you might effectively use AI. Again, another Kara pet peeve, take it for what it's worth. I prefer select instead of click because, again, I think it's more device agnostic. And I did not mean to do that, so I'm going to scoot back here. I don't know what I did. Think I just hit the that's interesting. So I can actually click in here and it navigates me forward, but then I have this next button here. So it goes back to my comment on that first page about how we had a start button and then we had the navigation buttons in the player. Again, I don't care which one you pick. I just think it's great to be consistent. And this is kind of a little bit all over the place. Okay, it looks like we have an accordion here to take a look at. Okay, and I'm gonna tilt my head sideways. I always have trouble reading sideways text. I don't know about anybody else, but okay. I'm not that kind of content creator. All right. Again, this is a nice big word sandwich. As a user going through this, I'm not reading all this. I'm going to scan it and look at it. I think it would be great to again just kind of highlight pieces of it. So from this, it looks like they're talking about uh, Chat GPT, about an effective instructional video. Oh, 100%. Thank you. Cicero, I don't know what you're 100%ing, but okay. I'm rolling with you. We're friends. So whatever you're 100%ing, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. All right. Ensures you keep creative control, programs like Synthesia. Okay. So yeah, so they're given some examples here of how you can use it. Think that's fine, but it's screaming for some kind of an example here a little bit thicker. So, oh, gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah, I agree. I the easier that you make it on your user to go through this, the better it is for everyone. So, okay. So I'm mowing what they're growing from a content perspective here. I get what they're trying to say. Um, I'm going to select the next button just to see what happens if it navigates me off the accordion or if it's going to open that next one. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. So it does open that next piece of the accordion. I am going to click this here and also see. Okay. So either or, it does work. Okay. I'm not a SME. Okay. So they're saying another way that maybe you can use AI is maybe asking it to potentially brainstorm. I do think that that's kind of dangerous, depending. The org that I work at full time has an insanely strict AI policy when it comes to content creation. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go any further than that. I do think that you're really rolling the dice if you put any company IP in something like that. Obviously, please don't do that. But their example about making cookies, sourdough, that's good. But something like, compliance highly specific to the company, I wouldn't recommend putting that in generative AI. I don't think that's a good use unless you have permission and you know that that's something that your organization okays. But I don't know if that would be something I would feel comfortable with doing. Um, it's interesting. I'm curious. I want to put this out to the chat here. I saw on the last slide. I'll just scoot back for just a moment. Uh, you can ask chatbots like ChatGPT. Is ChatGPT a chatbot? I'm curious. How do you all define that? I don't know if I would define it as a chatbot, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'd love to know, is ChatGPT a chatbot? Let me know. I'd love to know what you think. Okay. All right. So content here I'm not as okay with. Like I would definitely be questioning this as a user, but also I probably am a little bit more familiar with generative AI due to my experience and things like that. So maybe your average user wouldn't necessarily pick up on something like that. But um, okay. All right. I will see if I can. Yeah. Okay. So Cicero thinks that it is a chatbot, but without a corporate license. Okay. I'll pick that up. I just never really thought about it in that way before. So hey, you know what? I love days that I can noodle on something, put it in my skillet, let it simmer a little bit, and then think about something a different way. So thanks. Love to hear from others as well. Okay. All right. This one is about questions, activities. Now I'm a little bit personally for a second. I'm a little bit of an assessment snob. I like 100% organic human brain written questions personally. But activities, things like that, I don't have necessarily a huge problem with it. Um, okay, so this one is, hey, I need some help brainstorming. This is, hey, I need some help with the content. Which again, this one's a little bit sus for me. And then this one, I want to create new things and need help with doing like a Synthesia avatar video or something like that. Okay. What do you think of the accordion? Just curious in chat. What do y'all think of the accordion? Wasn't a bad use. And again, I don't know if they had the ability to build more things in this or not. Uh, I think this might be a pre-built that they selected, but that's okay. Okay. So here is a video that we can select and watch more. Uh, cool, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the issue with something like this is I'm going to click on it and it's going to open it up in a different window. Depending on the final place for something like this, even having something pop out of a learning management system in an enterprise environment can get a little bit tricky. What I would recommend is having something like this. We have a resources tab that's not being used. Go ahead and pop something like that in a resources tab for users if you want them to kind of go through it at a later time. But sometimes it can be really tricky. It can freeze up their progress. I am sure a lot of you have seen similar issues when you have something that pops out that's not embedded into the learning experience in the LMS. But um, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. I'll keep it nice and mild today. All right. Okay, so that was kind of our primer, learning a little bit more about AI. Now they're going to introduce this Risen framework to us. Again, I think this is way, 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 way too much text to do an intro or a transition in the module. So I recommend, again, making it a little bit more readable, putting it down a little bit. And I believe Mike Taylor and other folks have said, the nice thing about slides is they don't cost any money. So I would, if it is absolutely necessary to have this on here, I'd chunk this out across two slides instead of having it all on one. Okay, so here is our activity. I'm excited to see this. Okay, so I'm clicking away. We'll hit the next button, see what, okay. So the next button does also navigate me through this. So confusing. I would almost rather the way that this works, I'd just go ahead and remove this button altogether. But I guess that's me. All right. So we have some different information here. Kind of going through. So who am I? Let's see here. Okay, so you see what they're doing here in the text? They're going to give us a role and then they're going to build on it. That's really nice. So cybersecurity, uh, conduct a phishing email test, focus on it. Okay, good. End goal, and then narrowing. Okay, all right. From a content perspective, the writing here, probably I'd say some of the best in the course so far, just because you're giving me the background and then you're helping me kind of build on. But again, just from a readability standpoint, I'd like to maybe do a couple hard returns and maybe have that at the bottom. And then I think it would be really compelling to see it build across. So imagine having it, acting as a cybersecurity specialist and then conduct a role play. I'd like to see it kind of fill in as you're clicking across. I just think that'd make it a little bit more engaging, but the content looks nice on this. Oh no, it's making me click through it again. Okay. All right. So we had this camera really rolling in here. Let's see here. We see a pro. Okay. So I got ahead of them, I guess, but they did that here. I think that is fine. Okay. Here we can do the say click the camera to watch a video showing it. Okay. Alright, cool. So they did do it this way, which is I'm gonna close off it because it showed the person's name. That's not cool. I didn't wanna do that. So you all saw nothing, right? Nothing. Alright, so let me go back to the contest here. There we go. Okay. Well, that's neat that they had that, but gosh, I'd really love to see it integrated in here. I don't wanna click out. Um, I think that would be really, I mean, truthfully, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I would almost like to see that instead of this, but that's a preference, I guess. Not a fan of the camera flying around either. I find that a little distracting personally. And this is a lot of text. I mean, this is text-a-palooza on a slide. So again, I just recommend this. Break it down a little bit, spread it out a little bit more. Slides are free. But I do like that they put all of this together so I can take that away. And I think that is a nice touch. Okay. All right. Kind of scared to click on this. Okay, it was nothing. I didn't know if it's going to pull up like a little notebook or something. I know that a lot of people do like little reflection prompts and other authoring tools where you can have something and then you can make a variable to where it will show what you wrote like later on. That's something that might be interesting. You even go further with it, connecting it to some kind of a form. I know Jonathan Hill is like a wizard doing that and using some different programming stuff to pull all that stuff back out. It's pretty neat, but I do like the reflective piece here. That is, I think, good instructional design. As Tiagi says, engagement is in the mind and not the mouse. So I think the more that you can think about it, internalize it, the better that it's going to be. All right. Again, way, way, way too much text here. I'm not reading all that. Wish that they would break it down a little bit more. Uh, let's see here. Okay, so these are just things to consider. Okay. All right. Now we have the quiz time. So let's see what that's like. Okay, let's engineer a prompt from new example. Let's say that you need to provide instructional video for e-learning your professionals how to write a creative cover letter. Uh, Start with a role. Okay, so if I'm starting as a role, let's say it's this. No! Oh, I am an instructional designer. See, I wasn't paying attention. Kudos though to this person for writing feedback. That makes my heart very, very happy. I think it's really important to write feedback on assessment questions like this instead of good job or boo, you're wrong. So that's good. Okay. I meant to do that. All right. Continuing on. Okay. I need to write instructions for any learning video for code one instructions. Let's see. Ideas, engaging video. We'll go with this one. Okay. Yep. So again, I appreciate people writing feedback in here. That's good. Okay. Steps help you identify the instructions. What steps? Let's see. Uh, no, we'll see what that. Okay. All right. Good. Being a little bit of a grammar hammer, we'll make sure we have the punctuation right there. Go make an instructional video based on the information we get. Okay. I'm just gonna go with 3. Yeah. Okay. I did not pass. Shame on me. All right. And then went back to the course summary. I like that. There you go. Okay. And so I think this will open, yeah, it links out to Chat GPT to try. Okay, good. All right. I will stop sharing. I'm curious, what did you all think going through that? I will say, I'm happy that it wasn't a cybersecurity e-learning that they built. That makes me happy. I think I'm all for that. Something a little bit different. I just get sick of seeing the same stuff in people's portfolios. But all in, I think that was a good effort. All right. So I given feedback. I have some ideas on how I'm going to score that one for judging in the contest. I do have another one. This one does have sound. I think it has text to speech audio in it. So let me go ahead and I will share this. And then again, as we're talking, if there's any questions, anybody wants to talk about anything around this, their own stuff, please feel free. I do have a window open where I think I can monitor the chat, and I think it's working on YouTube and Twitch. So, all right, let me refresh this. All right, I'm going to select play.
Fighting Constipation. This short course will go over the importance of finding ways to incorporate fiber into the diets of the people you serve. You will also learn a few fun recipes and hear from individuals served along the way.
All right, again, I like the topic. It's different, okay? It's something different. So I'm excited to dive in here. We had that little opening animation. Actually, it looks like it was a little video. I'm assuming that what they did was, and again, this is just an assumption, some kind of a stock video that they found, and then they added the text to the gloves of fiber versus constipation. I will say that constipation is a little bit difficult to see there. I would like it to kind of be that same font size as fiber. The voiceover AI read to me the text on the screen, which is fine. As you see on this one,
Why is learning about fiber important to
we had the same
fighting constipation?
we had the same issue that we did with the other one, right? We have this next button going, but then I can click in here and it will also go forward. So again, I just recommend getting rid of that. And then also another pet peeve, how can I go back on a first slide? So I'm not a fan of those. Just kick that to the curb personally.
Why is learning about fiber important to you and the people we serve? Many of the individuals we serve are on medications that cause constipation as a side effect.
All right, pause right there. Who we serving? I don't know who I am in this learning experience at all. I don't know the audience, right? The other one, it said, AI engineering prompts for instructional designers. I knew who the audience was for that one. This one, I don't know who the audience is. I thought first, at least at the beginning, it was just talking about me as a person. What I think about making sure that I'm getting enough fiber to prevent constipation. But now it's like, hey, the people we serve. Well, who am I serving? I don't know. So maybe I'll get some answers here in a minute, but I'm a little bit confused right now. I don't know.
Many of the individuals we serve are less or non ambulatory and thus do not get the recommended daily amount of exercise.
So do I have a secret cert I don't know about? I don't know. So just saying, I be really intentional, like especially for a contest like this, make sure that you anchor the end user in the audience that you're making the material for. Again, I don't know. Am I a nurse? Am I a CNA? Am I a greeter at a nursing home? I don't know what I'm doing. So I'd really like some clarity there.
Many of our staff are busy and do not have the time to help the individuals exercise regularly. Many of our staff do not incorporate fiber into their own diets regularly and find it hard to assist individuals with this task. You may not know how easy and fun it is to layer meals with fiber-rich foods. Fiber has many important health benefits that can ultimately save lives.
Okay, so going back to the previous learning experience we looked at, I talked about, okay, moving away from, like I said, Julie Dirksen says in our book, from the what's in it for me to what can I do with that. Okay, you're selling me a little bit more in the value add proposition as to why I should care about fiber. But honestly, of all of these, number four and well, this side right here, I'm much more connected with because again, I don't know who I am over here, right? So let's keep going. I'm not a big fan, at least from a readability standpoint. This looks much better. It's not as muddled, right? We have at least some bullets. We have some space around it, so it's easier to read and look at, which is nice.
Fiber is the part of a plant that your body cannot digest or absorb, but it has massive benefits to your health. Fiber softens stool, makes food easier to pass, lowers the chance of hemorrhoids, diverticulitis, and some cancers, helps lower bad cholesterol, and reduces constipation.
Hey, Luke. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Anybody in the chat know what diverticulitis is? Can you tell I have no medical biology experience at all? I was a uh, art, more of like the Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts person. I never took a chemistry class, never, so I'm just curious. I can obviously Google later, but it would be nice. I mean, I think most people know what these are. I think most people know what cancer is, but something like that. And again, maybe the intended audience, maybe they have T-shirts of like, diverticulitis. I don't know, but I don't have a clue what it is. Okay, thanks, Cicero. So it is inflammation of pouches in the colon wall. Okay. That does not sound like something that someone would have on a t-shirt. Hopefully not. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. We'll keep moving and grooving here.
You can find fiber in such foods as fruits, vegetables, legumes like lentils and beans, nuts, seeds, oats, grains, and whole grain pasta. Getting fiber from your diet is best. Try changes to diet first, then seek advice from a nutritionist, nurse, or doctor about supplements if necessary. Always make these changes slowly at first, then increase daily intake.
Okay. So again, they're framing it up. They're given, what is fiber? What does it do? Where you can find it. So this is almost kind of like the 5 W's of fiber, which is nice, but again, I didn't know what that was. Now I'm not even going to try to say it again, and then just learning a little bit more about it. So we'll keep going. Oh, we got
The
video.
way you eat matters. Layering foods can make all the difference.
All right, another Kara peeve. Where are the captions at here? I gotta have captions. It's 2025. There needs to be captions in video. Period. Full stop. Don't care if you don't like doing it or whatever. Um, I need me some captions here. So anyway, sorry. I'll keep going here.
The way you eat matters. Layering foods can make all the difference. Introduce fibrous foods into the food you are already serving. Here's an example. Add shredded carrots, cut grapes, celery, or even nuts to chicken salad.
Okay. I don't know if the script really matched the animation that well. Especially that end part. I would like to have seen some of those foods, but instead it looked like a kid that had ants in his pants that couldn't sit down. Uh, going back
Example.
here.
Add shredded carrots, cut
Watch, he's gonna
grapes,
stand back up.
celery, or even nuts
Oh,
to
there he
chicken
goes.
salad.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be that didn't really necessarily have any bad thing to say about the script, but video could definitely use some work. Needs to have captions, needs to match the script visually of what is going on. So, uh maybe not the best, but we'll keep moving. Okay. I'll click on here. Okay. I'm trying to do tab order on this to see if it works. And you all can see I have it on reset, have it on submit. So I can't do tab order on this, so this is not accessible. Um, Again, I think that's a problem personally. Whether you get asked for accessible stuff or not, I just think it's important to try to do it. Oh, Luke, I see you put something here. Let me put that up here. So Luke says maybe not mixing the different character styles, stick with one throughout, business friendly or modern. I completely agree with that. And I'm trying to remember some folks that I work with prefer one of these over the other from an expression standpoint. And I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I don't remember which one that is, but completely agree with that as well. Okay. So drag and drop the foods that would add fiber to this chicken dish. Okay, they said nuts, legumes. Trying to remember here. Again, you all learn a lot about me. I don't know a lot about this stuff. I'm going to go with mushrooms. Okay. Anything else? Does green beans have fiber? Put them here. Okay. All right, I'm going to submit this and see what it does. Oh, there's 5. Okay. Salad? Oh, okay. I got to hit try again. Okay. Got salad, mushrooms, green beans. Don't know if there's fiber in fruit. I'm gonna go with that. I don't feel like mac and cheese is good, but I could be wrong here. This is what I'm gonna go with. Okay. Yay me. Okay. Again, I like the spirit and the thought behind this interaction. I don't like the execution of it. Even as I'm dragging the food, as you can see, and I can't even see my chicken anymore. Be nice if it just all kind of fit in a plate, or I don't know if you all know the plates that have the little segments and everything sits in its little place. Something like that would kind of be nice. But again, the thought behind what this is doing, I do like it. Okay. Oh no. Well, hello, Dunder Moose. Have to say you have inspired me, and I felt like streaming just because I enjoy all the stuff that you're doing. So just throwing that out there. So thank you for inspiring me. For those just joining, what I'm doing is I am a judge in the iSpring course creation contest. So I am not sharing the submitters of these, but these are 2 of the entries in the contest that I am giving feedback on. So I'm going through it kind of in 2 layers. One, as a user going through it, but then 2, if this person was someone on my team and I wanted to give them feedback and coach them on it, these would be some of the things that I would say to them. So
Fiber-rich diets are vibrant.
okay. Okay. Um that's it. Okay. I have no idea the purpose of that slide. Did not expect that.
Avoiding constipation. Exercise. Physical activity.
Okay. I realize that this is kind of a blank little slide here, and I know that the text is going to come in here, but I would like to see these kind of come in with it. I think that there is better ways to kind of tell stories than just have the little icons and have the little text to speech come in and read to me, but we'll go ahead and sit through it here.
Promotes bowel regularity. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes of exercise on 3 or 4 days per week. Start your day with at least 5 grams of fiber, such as a pear, a cup of raspberries, or a cup of cooked oatmeal. Staying hydrated. Along with fiber, water is key to gut health and fighting constipation. Eat meals at regular times each day. Fighting existing constipation. Increase fluid intake. If you aren't getting enough water, fiber can actually cause constipation. Warm baths can get things moving. Drink hot tea, coffee, hot chocolate, hot cereal, or soup. Eat prune whip. Drink high-fiber juices. Eat prunes, etc.
Hold the phone. I'm learning so much of this. What is prune whip? Can somebody tell me what that is? I don't know what that is, but it just it doesn't sound good. I'm just going to put it out there. Prune whip does not sound good. Anyway, go ahead.
Make sure you are getting the right amount of fiber in your meals. Seek advice from an ARCA nurse if constipation is a concern.
Okay. Another peeve of mine, any acronym like this, please spell it out the first time. I will tell you, this was several years ago when I was working in manufacturing. We had an acronym that was, it was her, and it was always like lowercase H-E-R, and I always thought it was talking about somebody, and it was way too long in my employment there, embarrassingly a long time, till I realized that that stood for a hot edge ring and not wasn't talking about somebody. So always, always, always spell it out. Again, the audience of this may know, but you never know. It could be somebody's first job. They might not be familiar with what ARCA is. Just spell it out. All right, we have an answer on Prune Whip. It is a rapper name, Lil Prune Whip. Don't know. I've just never heard of Prune Whip before. So, like, in all seriousness, if somebody knows what Prune Whip is, please, please, please let me know. I'm very curious here. All right, so this, I didn't expect all this other text to come in. Couple things that I would do, like I said with the last one, maybe consider breaking this up a little bit more. Maybe think of ways to visually tell this besides putting all the text here. But from a layout perspective, it is easy to read. You can follow it along. A couple other things, and again, this is just my thoughts. I'd love to hear your all's. Like 5 grams of fiber. I know they say a pear, cup of raspberries, or cup of cooked oatmeal. Even a cup, I struggle visualizing that as an adult. Maybe tell me, would that be about 15 or 20 raspberries, 10 raspberry? I don't know, just something to help quantify it a little bit more. I think might have been nice. Um, I think these are good suggestions overall, but I am curious again, uh, the folks that this is targeting as far as trying to avoid the constipation. Is this for elder care? Is this the audience of folks taking care of elders? I don't know. Are these tips that children are supposed to follow? Are children going to be getting prune whip in a cafeteria near you soon? I don't know. I just like a little bit of clarity on that.
Fiber rich diets. Grains, whole wheat bread and pasta. Wheat or corn tortillas. Whole grain crackers and cereals. Oats. Brown rice, quinoa, barley, and millet.
There's another one. What the heck is millet? I thought that was a haircut. No, it's a mullet. Never mind. Okay, moving on.
Produce. Aim to incorporate at least 5 servings of fruits and veggies daily. Legumes. Garbanzo beans, otherwise known as chickpeas, lima beans, fava beans, black beans, kidney beans, navy beans, pinto beans, black-eyed peas, split peas, and brown and green lentils.
Anybody else watch Forrest Gump and your head went to where I did about shrimp and beans? Okay.
Nuts and seeds. Try adding ground flax seed to oatmeal, applesauce, or yogurt. Add sesame and sunflower seeds to salad, sliced almonds to breakfast cereal.
Okay. Information's good. I would like to actually see real pictures of this, and maybe it's coming. Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse here, but I'd like to see what ground flaxseed and oatmeal actually looks like besides this little thing that looks reminds me of Lucky Charms for some reason. But I also didn't like that the icons were already there and they kind of came in. We saw that before. I think there's again other compelling ways to visually tell this content and tell this story with this. But as far as providing information around, what makes a fiber rich diet, I do appreciate that they break down these different types of food groups. That is a good thing. All right. I guess I'm gonna have to canvas Mr. Beast to make prune whip in the Feastables. Nobody has still answered me about what prune whip is. Okay. All right, keep on going here.
Reading nutrition labels. When shopping, check the label to see if there are at least 5 grams of fiber per serving. Make sure you are keeping in mind the recommended daily fiber intake for the person you serve.
All right, this is good. This is good. Now we're talking. Now I can say, okay, these are the age groups, these are the servings. This is good. This is giving me a lot of information that I need to, again, what can I take from this, right? How can I apply this to my job? This is good. Now, there's other ways to maybe spruce it up a little bit, but from a content perspective, this is good.
Fiber Guide. Use this helpful guide to plan your meals throughout the day. Add these kinds of foods to the food you are serving for a balanced meal.
Okay. So they have a couple screenshots here. They have a link to this PCOS Nutrition's Alyssa.com. I can kind of squint and look in and lean in and see this. If you use something like this, and I just highly recommend, it would have been nice if this was a little bit more legible. I don't know why they couldn't create this on their own and then maybe credit this, this website, like adapted from website here, just because looking at this is really, really difficult. And if this website maybe had like a PDF, we could pop up something here in that resources tab, make it a nice little download for folks if they wanted to go back and go through it.
Use these helpful recipes to avoid and stop constipation.
Okay. Now, this is slide 11. Okay. They're just now telling me to click next. Please get rid of that. Um, I just find it
Fiber
confusing because
Guide.
we've been able to
Use
get
these
here
helpful recipes.
without needing this. We don't need it. We don't need it now because as I hover over, none of these are clickable. So X that one. Get that out of here. Oh, there it is. Oh, the moment we've all been waiting for. I had no idea it was coming. So here is the magical prune whip. So go ahead and feel free to screenshot this for folks that want to enjoy this. Maybe it's a nice little weekend snack if y'all want to try it. I will not be trying it, but if you do try it, please let me know how it turns out. I don't like prunes, so uh, it's a no go for me. But yeah, it's looks interesting. So we're going to puree it all and then we can serve it and then save the rest for the refrigerator. All right, very good. Okay, so there's our magical prune whip after all. And then we got some prune pudding. Okay. This one looks to be a little bit more difficult to make, which is fine. I do appreciate the very slight bold on action steps you're going to be doing when you're cooking. Um, I have to say, and again, this is a peeve of mine. I don't like the different fonts here. Just pick one and roll with it, or have a different one here. But see how this is different, and then this is different. I from a readability standpoint, that kind of drives me banana town. Oh, oh, we have two versions of prune pudding. Now we're talking, folks. It's good stuff. Okay. Uh, but again, I like that they really committed to this, building this out. All joking aside, this is not disrespectful to the person that put this. We're just having, I'm just having fun going through it. More laughing more about the subject matter itself, but it's nice that they put this together. And I don't know if these are their recipes, if these recipes came from somewhere. If they came from somewhere, I would like to see an attribution personally. The picture, I don't know where the picture came from. I don't know if it's stock art or if it came from the recipe. It is the same recipe. I maybe would like to see an actual picture of what version 2 of prune pudding look like because it is the same picture. Okay. A little PAB. Little PAB. Prune juice, applesauce, and bread. Okay. All right. Uh, we're going for it here. Um, all right. So prune whip is even better than imagined. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. I do like the consistency of the recipe slides though. I like that it all kind of looks the same. It has like the three squares, has the information in it. That's good. And it does remind me of like a recipe card, which is nice. And we have the high fiber puree. All right. We're having a little bit of fiber fun here for sure. Okay. Okay. Good. And this is Yakima fruit paste. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay. See, this one changed a little bit because this was a little bit more difficult. Looks like to prepare, but again, you get the gist here. Oh, so this is the recipe, and then interesting. I don't know if I would call this instructions, or I'd maybe say like after preparing or more information or something like that. But okay. And then we have some nice little advice about our bowel movements in relation to the fruit paste.
Congratulations! You've learned a lot about fiber and its role in keeping you healthy and constipation free.
Okay. I feel like you could say, let's wrap up with a knowledge check or something. This isn't needed because it's 19 out of 20 slides. I got here without that. You don't need it here. Also, not really a huge fan of this blurred, vector esque corporate kitchen high rise vector. I really would love to see more pictures of this actual food prepared, or I don't know, seeing somebody eat the food, something a little bit more related. Because this did have a lot of good information in it, all joking aside. I'd just like to see that visually put out a little bit more. Oh, I have to put my name in here. Okay. All right. Let's fight it, shall we? Okay. All right. Select the correct answer. Which of the following? Okay. Another assessment, Kara pet peeve here. 99.99999% of the time, you can get rid of the following in a question from an assessment perspective. Which would add fiber to a meal? Concise, simple, fewer words to read, okay? Because people don't get a refund on their time, so it adds nothing. So that I always mark through of the following anytime I'm editing or reviewing or doing QC on anything. All right. So which would add fiber to a meal? I think it's lentil soup. I don't know if anybody disagrees with me. Okay, all right. Now, see here, compared to the last one where I complimented the fact that they actually wrote custom feedback, looks like this used just the stock feedback. I'd like to know more about, why I'm right and pizza and cheesy bread are wrong. That'd be great. Okay. Again, same here. Choose whether the statement is true or false. Cut that. True or false, colon. Da 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 da. Da. Okay. I'm all about keeping assessments simple and clean and easy to read. True or false, you can involve the individual you serve in making a prune snack or fiber rich meal. Again, I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know what my role is in this learning experience. I don't know if I can have them help me with a prune snack or fiber rich meal. I'm gonna put false. And see, I'm wrong, and I get no additional feedback here except you didn't select the correct response. Shame on me. Shame on me. I'll just let that comment sit at the bottom here. I could see a version of that, like the regular suspects. And to that point, Dunder, I do think that there are some really interesting takes that this could have taken. And again, I get it. It's a contest. People are putting stuff together on their free time. I get there's a lot of kind of parameters in something like this, but um, given the subject matter, could have been a little bit more tongue in cheek, right? Could have went there, and it'd be really compelling. All right, same thing. Get rid of all that. True or false? Colon. Notify a nurse if there's a concern for constipation. Where? If my cat's constipated at home, I don't know. Again, I have a problem. I don't know who I am in this learning experience. I'm gonna say false again, and I'm wrong. Okay. Again, I would get rid of that. True or false? Too much fiber with not enough water can worsen constipation. I'm gonna say true. Okay. Oh boy. Come up with one side dish that you can have with dinner that will add fiber to the meal. Y'all, I know what we're going to go with here. Prune whip makes everything better. Okay, let's submit that. And I did not pass. Okay, I'm going to go to review. And then it's going to show me this. Okay, close review.
Congratulations. You've learned a lot. Congratulations.
Do y'all see this? I'm stuck. I have to pass it to end it. So let me go ahead and will it let me resubmit? I'll close it out. Go back.
Congratulations.
I'm stuck. I broke it. I'm stuck. Because I didn't pass. There's no path forward, no way for me to reset it. So I broke it. Ugh. This is why testing assessments are so important when you build out stuff like this. Okay. All right. Well, I've given feedback on that as well. I will just stay for another minute or two. I knew there were a couple people that said that they would scoot over, but I know I'm a little bit over on time. I said I was going to do this for an hour, and it's a little bit over the hour now. Any questions, comments, fears, doubts, reservations, anything I can address while you all have me? And I'll wait a minute because I know that this is a little bit behind, laggy from a comment perspective. It's a bummer I broke that. It'd be kind of funny. It would be kind of funny if it said, "You're constipated. Take your prune whip." Maybe not. I mean, who am I to laugh? I went downstairs before I came back up here to stream, and I realized like my shirt today, I look like a Balatro Joker. I know it's kind of a niche reference, but I don't know if anybody else is playing Balatro, but like this looks like something like a Balatro Joker would wear. That's okay. You can laugh at me. It's fine. All right. Anything else? Well, if not, thank you all for those that came and participated in my first live stream in a while. It's been really fun, and maybe I'll make this a more regular thing. I do want to start streaming on Twitch some game stuff. Maybe I'll get there eventually. I watch a lot of people on Twitch, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I do it too? So from my YouTube and Twitch, I want it to kind of be a mashup of work stuff and providing feedback and helping people, and then also some game stuff. So with that, thanks so much. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Look, soon I'm gonna be maybe posting a schedule of when I'm going to stream. Any feedback about this or the platform or anything, I welcome it. Thank you all so much, and have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend. All right, see you, everybody.